Okay, let me see if I can animate this that I made yesterday. This 3D generated. I wonder how hard it'd be to tell the AI to like do this. I really need to learn how to train it better. If I could train the AI, I could tell it how to do this. And this will be just like a Gary's Mod Workshop galore. It's taking the center of the model, offsetting it, putting it into a mean of a box. It could actually be mathematically kind of done. The part that can't be mathematically done is visually doing the reload. The firing can be done. Wish I should just write like a PHP script to do it. And just massively just do a bunch of weapons I have that stashed away and the ones I can just go get. Yeah. So let's see. How come I couldn't find the other one? Oh, it's because we're compiling to a different folder. Whoops. Let's load the other one. Let's load 3 up. I'm not supposed to load up 2 of the same one. Okay, so we got to change the file name. This is kind of like leaving off where I left off yesterday. Completely didn't change a thing, except like I'm trying to implement grass and recompiling my whole engine again for whatever crazy reasons. Alright, so we need to rename these animations. First, let's put a 2 on this QC. I know like every time there's like a major re-rig, it's better to just start a new folder. And then once you start animating, this is like step 2. So for really good and complex weapons, the ones that have hand animations, I don't know, a lot of things, you want to have a whole system. Like once the animation's exported, you want to rename them right away so they're uniquely. This will be idle, but this is a really bad idle. This should be actually called idle underscore frozen or pause or something. What should be called idle stopped or something. I don't know. Whatever. Idle reference, basically. We shouldn't need to modify this. I think I got it wrong in terms of some offset for animation. Like I made it right enough to where it just displays it, but I think my 3D modeling skills have deteriorated into nothing because I haven't done it so long. But it's okay. I've done so much of it that it'll like respawn and teleport and compile or something. Regenerated by AI. It's just like a inside AI hype joke. But yeah, Mac ISO files. This is not where we go. So ISO content, and then we go back to our folder. Let's import our reference first, and then we'll start animating. Let's delete the cube. Like I really love this cube. I hate deleting it. I wish I could just do something, just keep doing something. But just to keep on track, because I don't have that much time. I have like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna go take a break. Let's try to do one animation. Let's try to do. I want to do fire animation first, just because it's kind of easy. All right, we can do. We don't even need to load the animator tab. Should we? I mean, we should try to load animate. I'll try to show both ways. Okay, K, I believe, is our primary button. First, we need to select the bone. I don't know how you do this. What is all this vertex groups? Vertex groups also has bones, but we need to select the green bone thing. We need to select this thing called weapon bone. And we need to go, I think, into like object mode or edit mode. I think we got to go to pose mode. Then we just like move this, make sure it's corrected or something. Then we hit K to free frame. You do everything. Whole character selected both on. Now we need location, rotation, scale. I like to do all three because I know I'm like getting all the shit. Because the importer or exporter kind of uses some of those values. I don't know about the scale value and some other values, but I know it uses location and rotation for a sure or something. So at 40, since this is fire, we should do at 20, but we'll start at 40. And we do another K, G, move it back, send it to 80. Move it forward, press K. We did something wrong. Let's try K again. K. Didn't move. Let's move it like this, just wobble it. K. We got some sort of movement. If we want a twitch movement, let's check our animations, play it. So this will be our fire animation. We want a little bit rollback. I mean, what is it called? Gun jump or feedback or... damn it, I need to go watch one of those gun channels. Like if you watch a gun channel about the Second Amendment and how to fire a gun during animating these videos when you rig, you will be really good because you will like know shit about arms and how they're like there's all kinds of safety things that they'll tell you that has a lot to do with video games that you would want to put in your video game. And the more you put in, the more quality your animation will be. So I'm hitting K and it's not working. Rotate, move back, hit K. Okay, we have to hit K within this area. All right, we've done that. Let's say that that's our fire animation. I know that it's not that great, but the first one is usually for reference. Then what we want to do is go into Blender file thing, and then weapon, grenade, launcher. I'm going to name this Fire 01. Alright, save as. Export this shit as. Just export it. Instead of, I don't know if we could rename the animation in here. There might be a way. I think we can right here. Let's go Fire 01. And let's try to export. And I wonder if we could add more animations into this thing. Like when we export it as DMX file. But that'll be like the next tutorials will be DMX files and actually and after that it could be adding our own modeling format into source because I can code C++ and just I've already made a little demo where I draw into the engine. I did a few things wrong, but it's just not facing the right way. It's just some normals bullshit. And something to do with the renderer. I mean, the engine not calling the right function where it should be drawing, but it still draws. Stuff like that. Still got to figure some of that out, and then I got other things to figure out, whether or not I'm going to use the 32-bit engine or the 64-bit. The 64-bit seems to be giving me all kinds of stupid problems. The 32-bit seems to be more stable because everybody's running off of it. It's like, why did I learn how to do the 64-bit if it's not going to work? Well, what I have to do is like do both. All right. Where are we exporting this crap? Into that folder where we're at. Oh, okay. The easiest way to do that is go to save as. Oh, copy paste that. Hit cancel. Copy paste that. Oops, not engine path. Something. We don't really need the engine path for now. I think we do for something. I forget for what. I gotta read up the help for this. That would help. I haven't even done that really. I mean, I kind of have before or something. Gimbal lock. Yeah, so it's sort of good to ponder on this. All right, so I think I have 5 minutes left, so I have to hurry. How did this export? I mean, we've exported our file. Now we'll double check if the animation's name. Yeah, it did export as Fire01, so correct. We got it correct. By changing the value inside of the thing I found in the thing. Sorry. This is garbage. The thing you go into the skeleton. This is called like the main rig of crap thing. This is called like the crap where you have material crap and something else about like weight crap. So it puts it into these two categories for the crappy reasons that 3D models are just a fucking juggernaut of a mess. There's different ways to represent them. And I hate the way Blender represents them because I hate Blender. I mean, I love Blender. It's the best program in the world. But so you could rename it here. So if we want to restart this, I usually just start with a new file every time and just keep. There might be a way we could put it in one file. We're not going to figure that out today. So let's add the fire animation and just compile it, and then I'll figure out more anecdotes of why Blender is a great program, because it has the cubes and stuff modeled for you. And all right, so we need our we sort of need our reference model. Like we know we have fire101.smd. Why I had that in my paste buffer, because that's like all my work right there that I just did. So that I'm like already ready on the dot. Oh, and because I need to put it right here. Because I like to match the SMD name with the animation name. But the activity name, it's going to be act_vm_fire. Now, let's look at our reference project that we had before, for, v_smg. And I always have this open. I had it open since yesterday. And so, actually, it's not fire. Fire is something else. It's like people on fire. I don't remember. Okay, so it has to be primary attack. And it also creates an event that creates a muzzle flash. And this creates SMG muzzle flash. But we want secondary attack, node fire. We want this one. Why? Because it's a grenade launcher. Alright, so we do want some sort of muzzle flash. We still want a muzzle flash, but we want to change that node thing. I don't know what snap means. What is the snap thing? I don't know what the snap thing means, but we could read about it later on Wiki. We have to hurry here. Okay. Let's compile this again. This is going to put it into somewhere, blah, 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 compile. And as you add more and more animations and things to the QC file, the compilation time will increase. The frame rates will drop. So the less triangles you have, the more time you will actually spend working on your model. And I get it, like certain cars and stuff and tanks, and it depends on the asset. Like certain assets, you should always concentrate on polygon count. Like cool weapons, I believe weapons are just so, who cares, because we've seen so many of them over the past that we might as well just deteriorate their poly count for our computers to save power, because like it's better to play high performance with shitty weapons models than it is to waste power. That's my opinion. Alright, so it increased by 4 kilobytes. It doubled the size just from this one animation. Let's see if it works. Okay, view and move model mode. Okay, that's good. That looks right. Fire. Alright, so it moved the model back to where it was. One little problem. Don't know why. Okay, idle 01 that we're using is the right position. Huh. Alright, so we did make a boo-boo here. So what would happen if we imported the model again? We're going to have to override that fire. We're going to have to throw it in the trash. Because it's in the wrong, it's just wrong. It's in the wrong position. It animates, yes, we know that, but it's a lot of, like, 90% of the content you're going to do when you create this, at least, will be thrown in the trash. And what we have to do, actually, we have to do this, like, double procedure when we import. We import it. This is not at the right position. And I knew that I might get this error. I just didn't say anything because it just confused people. And we used... What animation did we use to compile the idle? Because the idle should be in the right positions. So it's the skeleton. But I think... I think they both have the same thing in them. Or I triple saved for a reason here. Okay, so it moves it to where it's supposed to be. Okay, good. That's really our idle animation. So it's sort of like our reference also. Sorry that it's so convoluted, but it's the reason it's the first reference was messed up, but the boning, yeah, that's the little mess we have to deal with Source and Blender, and it's like you can blame both, but you can't blame both because they're both engines for their own purposes. One's an optimized game engine, and one's an optimized 3D modeling program for 3D modeling, a bunch of shit. And they're always going to conflict with each other's shit. And they're both good, but they're both bad for each other. It's like, okay. Alright, so let's go back to animating this. We'll try to animate it in here. It shouldn't make too much of a difference. So we selected the bones, we go to pose mode, select the bone we want to animate for the most part, press K. Ugh. Location, that'll be our, and then go to 10, press K. After remove it, press K again, check it. Is that a good firing animation? Oh, it's stupid. Okay. There is a way to copy frame 01. I forget how to do it. Whatever. What we really need is like move it backwards somehow. I fucked that up so bad. Oh. Let's just press K. Let's go to 20. Press K. Let's go to 40. We just have to be fast here. paste it into 60. So I guess that pastes what I just did right there. I copy pasted. And then 80 will be not the same shit I did before. That. Alright, let's rename our animation. Hit this animation thinger. Put this fire02. And we'll save this as fire02. Weapon underscore grenade launcher underscore fire02. And you want to do this because you want to be able to just open a Blender file individually, work on the animation, and be able to tell what the hell. And then everything gets packed into one file at the end. A lot of things get packed into that file. It's more of a compressed database file. Or actually it's more like its own like little like Arduino Raspberry Pi program inside this thing. The model has its own like shader compilation thing. Because it has like variables for various shaders. DirectX 7. And some models don't have that. Alright. I don't want to talk too much about the modeling. DirectX 7 and Model 1.1 and converting DMX to make it Vertex animation. Because like it'd be nice to do Vertex animation here. But you also need to do a special setup. I guess there's some sort of setup I need to do. There's a plugin that Unity uses. I've used shape keys before in 3D Max to make like an entire face. And you just shape key the face and it's pretty fun. That's the animation that we really want to get into and try to use that on the weapon. But correctly, I want to decompile everything so I can view how the shader does it. So it's a lot more efficient to do it. But what am I doing here? Okay. We're going to just replace the other fire. Instead of like deleting it and like doing all that, you could still make it fire like 0, 1 in terms of it being like the first fire. Because it randomly chooses usually. That's how it works. Okay, what is this? Crap. Oh, this is my shader compilation stuff. Alright, so fire 0, 1. We'll just change that to fire 0, 2. Okay. I'll just recompile it and reload it. Alright, why? Could not load fire 02. Oh. We kind of need to export this with the path. Yeah. Little repetitive steps here. Export your model and animation, right? Okay, so don't reload it while it does this. Now we can just open another Blender, like figure out what to do. It's gonna like speed you up in the next step. Don't overdrive or overrun or overspeed, but what we're gonna need to do is just load another model, load the idle animation while it does that. So we can add a second animation. Delete the cube. Import the idle animation on top of it. Something didn't work. I could tell because it didn't move. Huh? Something really got screwed up. Okay, what if we import idle? I'm trying to read what it says, but it just disappears. Okay. What if we select that? Alright, we have to select the model when we import that animation, or else it freaks out and it doesn't know what to apply it to. Okay. Now we do the animation again. Press K. After we select the bone, put it in pose mode. We select our bone. Make it jerk. G. G. K. Uh-oh. It G the key. Okay. And there's like always this error that I keep doing. I keep doing what I'm going to do. Pretty sure the animators that usually do this are just going to frown upon my style for now. But I don't care because I haven't done this in a while. Sometimes like doing weird, stupid shit like this really fast actually turns out better than trying to sit there and do it all nice. I've noticed it creates like variety or something. Yeah, and that's my like excuse ever rent. Okay. So this will be fire03, save as, set the shit, take a poop, don't flush, tell everybody the bathroom's fine. You didn't do it. Okay, source compiled exports, please don't. Alright, so did we rename our animation yet? No, we didn't. We didn't do the most important thing. Fire03, hit save as, then copy the path as you're hitting save as, save it. I don't know if we need it to save, but whatever. Export it. We could just export the Fire3 actually, like I just did. Then we're gonna go and double check glass compile. Let's go load up the reference thing. Alt Fire, Fire3. We'll just take Fire3 for example. There's a Fire2, but we kind of like said Fire1. Recoil, act recoil 1, primary attack, Fire2 recoil, act recoil. Alright, this will just be the recoil one then. Make sure we get the path right here. And then we will save that. We might need to add a Fire2 or something. Let's go look at it, recompile it, and then I gotta go. Refresh. Alright, so that looks better. It's not the greatest animation in the world, but that's idle. It's fire. Looks really stupid. We could speed that up. Inside here, you could just script it. You could increase frame rate and make it like that. It looks kind of stupid. And then we'll just save it again. Then we'll recompile it because we're adding another animation into it. And just let it cook. And I mean, we could just keep going and do the reload and all that. The other thing that I noticed is this doesn't have an event in the reload for the sound. So how you do the reload sound is inside the weapon folder, I believe. In the sound scripts. And you define the weapon. Yeah, so it's this. Now, in some cases, in some source mods back in the day, you did this reload. You can do some of the sound effects within the QC file. That's why I'm so confused. Because you could spawn these events, and some of the events will play a sound. Like you could make it play a sound within this event, and define the same type of template thing inside the sounds file, and do it that way. So there's multiple there, and then you could also code your own way and manually hard code in the sound to play when you hit the reload, and not even use both these systems. So how does it work? And why is it client-side service? And then, yeah, there's that portion of it. So these ones used to be, sometimes they would work with the client-side and server, like the netcode was not working, and then it was working, and now, yeah. Whether or not the base Viewmodel, when you compile into the model, will work for a player standing next to you, I don't know the answer to that one, but you could code that in and have it within the model file. So the answer is like, probably. All right, so we have fire 01, fire 03. It looks stupid too, but it's kind of cool. And we have idle. And then we need to make a real idle where it's just kind of there. And then there's also bob me, which is like, well, when you walk, it kind of like shakes a little bit. All right. And this is a AI generated model with 99999 shader draw count, 29,997 indices, 9999 triangles, 26,834 verts. All right, it's just a waste of like death CPU, and it looks like awesome because I just like added a random material onto it. Yep, that's how you do it. That's how you animate it. So the animation procedure gets easier and easier as once you do like one weapon, the second weapon will probably take you even a little bit longer because you'll start to like experiment, and then it'll get faster on the third weapon, but it just depends how fast you're willing to go. It's better to try to make your third weapon faster than your second weapon, and then faster on the fourth weapon, and then faster on the fifth weapon. So you can just keep pumping them out, and then go back and kind of redo them after a day later, because it's a really an artistic, but you need to be more of just a programmatic, like, spammy web developer when you first start out, because it'll just help you pump through. The more you pump through them, the better you'll get, faster, and the more you'll produce. And things will get in the way. That's why I say that.